Welcome back, Jackie. So I'm excited. You're going to lead our viewers through two images that you love. What's the first one?
Okay, so the first one will reveal to you and to whoever's watching the tape how our parents really totally and deeply impact our body, our mind, and our attitude. It's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to experience it.
Okay.
So first thing I'd like you to do is close your eyes. You will see an image in your mind's eye, like in the third eye area. And when you see the image, there'll be feelings or emotions, sensations. They can be overt or subtle. And there may be a meaning like, aha. So all images have those three parts: image, somatic response, and a meaning to them. So the first thing I'd like you to do, and by the way, some people like the image with their eyes open, but most with their eyes closed. I just want people to know that.
Okay.
So see that you're crossing a road to get to a shop on the other side, a shop that you like to go to. And notice, how do you cross the road? What's your energy? What's your mood? What's your attitude?
Me? Quickly, because I love to shop. No, very, very quick. In the middle of the road.
And what's your mood as you're doing it?
Eager.
Eager, quick, in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what I'd like you to do is keep your mother in mind. So it's like you think of her. She does not appear in the image. Again, she does not appear in the image. Just keep her in mind. It's like a lens on a camera. You put the mother lens in.
More anxious.
And just see you cross the road, keeping mother in mind. Notice, how do you cross? How do you feel? What's your energy and your attitude?
It's just overall more anxiety. It becomes less fun and more
Anxiety?
anxiety. And she was very anxious.
Okay, and so is that familiar to you? The feeling that you're having inside your body and your mind of crossing the road with mother in mind, is that familiar to you? That kind of anxiety?
Thank God, less and less, but that was absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so you've lived with that exact anxiety.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let that go. Now keep Father in mind. He does not appear in the image. Keep him in mind and cross the road with Father in mind. How do you cross?
More determined, more grounded, yeah, much more stable.
Okay, and is that familiar to you? Feeling grounded?
More so recently,
Good.
because that's who he really was, but there was a story. So once we cleared it,
Right.
yeah.
So that's his true energy in you.
Which I didn't know until we did the work.
Right. When you work on a project or something, do you sometimes experience being in the feelings you had crossing the road?
Right.
You feel at times.
Determined, powerful. Yes, that was him, and that's a part of me.
Right, exactly. So you were having two knee-jerk reactions that you go into,
Right.
or whoever, their mother and father.
Right.
Like,
Amazing.
I'll be anxious and like this, and I live that, and I think, what the hell is wrong with me? You know, and what's going on? But it's you can see it's the impact of your mother in your consciousness, and then there's your father. And for each person, of course, it'll be unique. Keep Father in mind, and then you go, oh, so you can see how knee-jerk reactions that we live out are from that influence. It's neurologically recorded in the brain. And we can do one more just for fun. Do you have a mentor, a spiritual figure? I know Jesus is important to you, or a mythic image, something that really speaks to you in a deeper way?
Jesus.
All right. So keep Jesus in mind, and listeners can do the same. And see you cross the road. And notice how you cross.
It's actually funny. I floated.
You floated.
Just very light and carefree.
Great. With faith and like a good.
Right.
I felt that from you. Total faith, right?
That was it.
Okay. And sometimes you really, I know this side of you, so sometimes you really feel that inside yourself.
I do. It's a wonderful feeling.
Because that is your soul. That you're connecting to that. And you can go through life feeling, getting away from the knee-jerk reaction of your mom in situations and really embodying. You see how these images, it's a body-mind thing?
Yeah, but how do you
embody
that? I mean, if you feel so good when you're in the flow of the energy of Jesus, How is that something that you would keep with you more often?
All you have to do is keep him in mind. So let's say I have to go to an interview that's important, or I've got a meeting. I'll keep my father in mind because certain qualities come right in, certain parts of me come right in. So you can keep a certain figure in mind to evoke the desired response within you, which is most optimal for that situation.
I love that. That's so great. So if you're in a tense situation, and whether it's Archangel Michael or Jesus or some benevolent spiritual figure, it's going to impact the way you conduct yourself.
I remember many years ago I had to meet a very important person. He was Secretary Treasury to the United States. And I was going to interview him, and I was meeting him for lunch, and I was late. I was really nervous. He had yelled at me because that was his style. He was this intimidating guy, and he bullied everybody. I was like, oh my God, I was young. And as I walked into the Four Seasons to meet him, I thought, I'm going to keep my mother in mind, because I was nervous. I'm keeping my mother in mind, this little Polish lady with such attitude. So I just kept her in mind, and I was like, yes. I don't know what. It was just like, yes. And I walked over to him, and I said, hello, straight dead on in his eye, hello, Mr. Simon. I'm Jaqueline Sussman, like this, total confident. I saw the guy melt, and we were fine from then on. We actually became friends. But it was I kept my mother in mind, or I would have blown it.
So why would you have blown it?
Because I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't feel... I mean, I'm meeting the Secretary of Treasury of the United States, and what it took me to get the meeting, and he was already irritated with me.
But was it a lack of something in your childhood that you didn't have the confidence, and that you had, in other words, where was that fear coming from?
That's a good, I'd have to go back to my images to find out, but maybe moving to this country from South America and feeling very odd and not part of things. Maybe, you know,
childhood?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
Just to keep something in mind can shift the energy.
Totally shift
and then
you.
When the energy shifts, the whole dynamic of
your
the
chemical shift, your body shifts, your attitude, your thoughts, your sabotaging thoughts instantly change. You don't have to even work on them.
Love it.
And then the energy you emit creates a different response.
A different
So
feel.
we are in control. Okay, so the second image is, let's use one just to see how the true self comes out in a situation where you feel powerless. So I would like people watching this to close their eyes, and you do it too. Just see a situation that you feel powerless in with a person, or in a situation that you can't express something or say something, or you can't make a difference, like a child or a boss or whoever. Okay? So you see yourself in that situation.
Okay.
As you see yourself in that situation, notice how you feel. Your thoughts, your emotions, your body. How do you feel?
I feel that I'm not going to be heard or be acknowledged or even validated, taken seriously.
Okay, in that situation.
Right.
Okay. And now for a moment, in the image, look at the other person or whatever it is that you're feeling powerless to. What do you see about them? Take a moment and just notice that. Their body language, you know.
A lot of anger and contempt.
Okay. Okay. So now this is where a little mythology comes in.
Okay.
Now see, a wind comes down from the heavens and surrounds you. Only you, not the other person. It's a gift from the gods, from the divine realm for you. Just feel the wind. Right when you're with that person, just feel the wind. What happens? What do you feel?
Well, it creates a buffer, so I am not as triggered.
Okay, great. So just feel yourself not being as triggered.
Right.
Now see, another you jumps out of you, like just jumps right out of you, like a genie pops out of a bottle. Another you pops out of you. What's that other you like? Watch her.
A little feisty.
She's
kind of
feisty.
Powerful, like bring it on.
Okay, and how does she respond to him? Watch
kind
her.
Of like water off a duck's back. It just doesn't take in that energy.
Okay, see, you become her and feel that. You'll feel it in your body. Do you feel that? Feisty, spunky.
I feel I'm more in my own power. I'm less vulnerable.
Great. So that's your true self. So the first image where you couldn't express and you felt more intimidated is from your history. So we can track back what happened in your childhood that disempowered you, but that happens to all of us. It's the nature of this world. But the one that this has been researched also, when you see it's called an emanation, the one that jumps out of you, is an image in the hologram of your mind, of your true power. We're tapping into the wholeness. So it comes out, and you see it and you go, oh, and so spunkiness is who you are. You are spunky by nature. So whoever a person truly is comes out, and you get the image and the feeling state, which is embodied, how to deal with that situation when you're powerless. It's a wonderful technique.
But why the wind first? Like, why couldn't you just pop out without the wind?
You can do it without the wind.
But I like the wind. The wind created almost like a buffer.
I like the wind too, because you get like a momentary reprieve, a buffer, or a shield, or some people feel cold wind and it chills them out, or whatever the person needs, it kind of comes in the wind and they feel like the spirit is giving them something. And then and whatever comes out is from the hologram of your cellular genetic self, revealing to you an image of your power.
So you're saying the first time you jump out, that's your true self. Can you explain that? I'm still like.
Do you remember I talked about we look for the wholeness inside?
Right.
So your wholeness jumped out of your history. You're approaching the situation from, this guy's got the power, and I'm like this, he's scared. But then
the wholeness.
It popped out. The wholeness pops out, and you go, hey, what's your problem? I'm spunky. And it's water off a duck's back. That's beautiful.
So you can do that if you're going into a situation, you can image that and then get back to your wholeness.
And then when the other you comes out of you, you get the precise qualities that are true to your nature, not someone telling you how to be, that expresses your power potential in that situation. It could be spunkiness, it could be anger, it could be love, it could be compassion, it could be neutrality. Whatever comes out
is okay.
Will be your power.
So if it pops out and you're angry,
you need to release anger at the person. And the person might calm down. You'll see in the image also how the person will respond to that, because you have images of the person too. So it's like a movie. You can play the movie. So if I get angry, they calm down. They get it. That person needs anger. Or if I'm spunky and water off the duck's back, a person reads your energy.
Right.
So they'll respond to that you don't care, or you're neutral. They'll respond, you're triggered, they'll go more after you.
You read each other's energy. So I might react to someone that you won't react to. It's all what our personal triggers are.
Right. We're part of nature. So like two animals meet and they read each other's signals.
Right.
We're constantly reading each other's signals. Constantly.
So if we're brought back to wholeness, which is a lot of the work, then we're more neutral and we're just not going to be thrown around by things as much.
Totally. And then more joyous and more fulfilled, because there's a lot of work about joy and filling the heart and who we truly are. So
those are just two of a gazillion different kinds of images, natures, mythological images, it's a very creative process.
Well, it is, and don't forget, I have the person's test, so I have the pattern right here. I can look at it, and I can see the imprint of what creates the symptoms. And I also, in the test, get the windows to the self, to the wholeness. So the work, all the tools are, like I said, like moving through this pattern, and you find the pockets, the gold, the self, and you bring it out, 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 and symptoms go away, and a person's more powerful, more radiant, more genuine, more authentic, and happier. Freedom
comes to mind, because all of these things stop us from being who we are.
Exactly.
So my final question is, what is your hope for this field of eidetic image psychology going forward in the world?
Well, I'd like people to know that they don't have to be enslaved to their suffering, that there's radiant, beautiful wholeness within them, and that we are nature. So like we're restoring nature, we restore the self. And there are tools that go right directly to who they truly are.
It's so beautiful.
So it's hopeful. So that's what I'd like for people to know. So that in the end, we can all be vehicles of love and really good things for each other. Because the more powerful we are, we can emit more goodness. It's people who are disempowered that do evil things. Wrong kind of power.
You're so dedicated, and thank you, because this is what we all need. This is what the world needs. It's a ripple effect. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thanks for this opportunity.